In a rousing matchup that was for the heavyweight division, somewhat exciting. Friday, March 8th card that saw a co-main event where Joseph Parker took on Zhang in a heavyweight bout that many thought would go a certain type of way, but we were fooled because the two combatants came in and they gave a different type of show on both men's behalf. This was a fight that many people thought that maybe Zhang would do to Parker what he had done already to Big Joe Joyce. But that was not the case at all, as Parker came in to battle. Let's talk about this fight a little bit more and what may be next. The heavyweight division in boxing is always exciting, especially when you get two forces that come together and they clash. Zhang is a big man. He's 6'6" and nearly entered this fight 300 pounds. Joseph Parker, who's 6'4" and came in just under 250 pounds, is a fighter who seems to show more grit and determination and ambition than a lot of fighters in the sport of today. And he deservingly gets consideration going forward, because this was not an easy fight for Parker. Not because Zhang is so much better, but because he was so much bigger. But Zhang, the 40-year-old southpaw from China, has a problem with stamina. And Parker, who was able to play the waiting game, was capable of waiting Zhang out, even though along the way he suffered knockdowns in rounds 3 and 8. But there is something to look at regarding the knockdowns that Parker took. He's resilient. He has already lost fights before in the past, and now the 32-year-old Australian is ready to make that next step in his career, with his current record now being 35-3 with 23 KOs. Parker has shown the entire division that he may be ready for a resurgence. Sometimes having a loss or two on your record could be a defining point in your career, which gives you an opportunity to show that you have made transitions, that you have elevated your game, that you have taken something learned from the experience and come back better and renewed as a result. Zhang, who lost the decision in the past against Filip Hrgovic is bringing his record, currently now 26-1 with 1 draw and 21 KOs. He's showing us that he hasn't learned. I'm going to say something that Zhang supporters, and including Zhang himself, may not like. He's lazy. And for a 40-year-old man, that's something that should not be attributed to a 40-year-old man's name or reputation. Parker showed that resiliency and desire can go quite a long way when you mesh it with talent. Zhang showed us a bully mentality, and guess what? The bully had his weapons taken away, because when he tried to bully Parker, even though he knocked him down a couple of times, Parker got up both times and continued to fight. As the fight began to close out, Zhang punch output began to minimize. Yeah, he stopped competing, people. And that was very interesting, because Parker, you know, when a guy gets dropped sometimes, for the man who puts the fighter down, it could have some type of psychological effect. But guess what? Parker's been down before. He's been stopped before. There's nothing to fear going forward. And that's what he showed. Zhang was celebrating from the knockdown instead of thinking of how to follow up and commit to keeping his opponent down. And that was the downfall. Because as he peeked and probed, he realized this guy is going to keep fighting. And the gas tank emptied after 3 or 4 rounds of a scheduled 12-round fight. Now, there's a rematch clause that says that these two can face one another again. The fight was held in Kingdom Arena in Ryder. These men don't really need to face each other again. We were already shown who's the best of the two. The one thing that they would receive is another great payday between the two. But I don't think the match would be much different outside of Parker being a little bit busier and letting his hands go a great deal more. The scorecards read 113-113, 112-114, and 115-111, all in favor of Joseph Parker. But the fight margin was greater than that. A majority decision this was not. This was a clear-cut unanimous decision for Joe. Zhang, I think, has seen the best of his days. Being 40 years old is one thing, but being a 40-year-old who refuses to get in shape is a far different thing. And see, that's what people need to look at. Because in the heavyweight division, all it takes is one punch. But you've got to be in shape and prepared to go the distance, just in case. You can't rely upon executing a guy with a single shot, especially when your gas tank, you enter the fight with it on a half. Yeah. So you got to speak it like it truly is. And that's exactly what Joseph Parker was able to do. He showed us exactly what he's made of. And when he was in there against Zhang, he competed mightily. He showed us exactly what he was made of. And there is a great appreciation for that, because fighters like that in today's time, fighters who are willing to step up and test the waters and let the world know what they have to offer, they're not often celebrated or even found. So it's a great thing to see what he was able to do. And I have a great appreciation for what he was able to do, Joseph Parker. So salute to Parker. And if he decides to face Zhang again in a rematch, I hope that he's able to go out there and fight in a manner of which he is so busy that Zhang just retires on his stool, because the fight is not there for him. If he can't club you out, then he's going to check out. And we don't want to see that again either. So, this is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know your thoughts about this fight and what you would like to see next. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.